Hey there, and welcome to the 8-Bit Pop Culture Show. I'm Hekla Petursson, and today I have a very special guest. Joining me today will be Ash Reid, a Richmond local and VCU alum who has been at Loose Screw Tattoo for 7 years, Richmond classic. They specialize in illustrative black and gray dot work imagery, and their work is inspired by antiquity, the organic, and the macabre. And I'm very obsessed. Welcome to the show, Ash.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so obsessed with your artwork. I want to know, before I get into anything else, how you started in illustration and found this really unique style that you have.
Sure. So, I've been drawing my whole life. And I always say I am an amalgamation of all the stories I consumed as a child. So I grew up watching Lord of the Rings and reading. I was a bookworm. I read a lot of books. So that just carried with me into my adult life. And I love to take those things and let it inspire my own imagination and just create art with it and tell my own stories. And I get to do that for people now, which is very cool.
That makes so much sense, because I think a lot of what you do, including what's on the screen now, looks like lived-in characters that I would have known in my childhood. Like this mushroom on the screen, I feel nostalgic for, even though I've never seen him before. So how did this illustrative passion turn into tattooing?
So I went to Virginia Commonwealth University right here in Richmond. I've grown up in Richmond my whole life, and I went there and I studied illustration, and I got my bachelor's degree in scientific illustration, which is why I do a lot of botanical drawings today. And I just started working at a tattoo shop during that time that just so happened to be Loose Screw, and I just fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the culture of tattooing and getting to make art for other people.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Like from point A to point B was just like the same passion.
Very natural flow into, what I do now.
So because your work is so stylistic, are you often, when people book with you, is it often because of your style first, or are you sometimes asked, like if I was like, hey, I want a pop art Pokeball, do you make that happen, or is your style very at the forefront of when people book with you and get your art on themselves?
I think it does have a lot to do with style first. I think people see how I approach making an image, and that's what draws them to me initially. It's a little bit of both, though, because some people see the images I make first, and the subject of the image is what intrigues them. So they'll come to me because they saw I did a cute frog tattoo, and they're like, well, I want a cute frog tattoo. So it's a little bit of both, I would say.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
One topic that I'm very interested in, as I am also a woman in art, is that tattoo specifically, I feel, is a very male-dominated art scene. But in Richmond, I feel like there's like a better ratio, I would say, of men and women in the art. What has been your experience as a woman in tattoo? Do you feel like it's different than your male counterparts?
I would say so, yes. There are so many tattoo artists in Richmond, and we have some fantastic female tattoo artists in Richmond, many of whom I look up to and I've gotten to interact with and work with, and I love them so dearly. And my experience has been really fantastic because we have such a great, abundant tattoo scene, especially with so many women in it. So I have not had to face any personal challenges with it, but that is also accredited to the women who came before me and built that space for me to then come in and have an easier time.
No, I think that's so inspiring. And it's awesome to hear that you're thriving. You are going to be at the Richmond Tattoo and Arts Convention coming up this year. How do these work? How do people book with you? Are you tattooing in front of all of these people?
Yes, I will be there tattooing. We're going to have a large number of people there tattooing, and there's different ways you can go about getting booked. So I have clients for the weekend I am not booking. There are other artists at my shop that are. Okay. So if you want to tattoo at the Richmond show, hit up Loose Screw. But People do it differently. Some tattoo artists book prior, so they'll bring in their own clients. They'll schedule them ahead of time, or they'll bring their own designs for people to come up and choose from, or they'll just take walk-ups. So you could go in with your idea and have someone do it for you.
Okay.
If you're going to do it that way, I would advise making it really simple, because the harder it is for an artist to draw, the more likely they're not going to be able to do it.
Gotcha.
So if you want to get tattooed at the convention, just keep an open mind for what's
That makes
available.
sense.
Yeah.
How do you enter a convention like this? I know Loose Screw is very involved, but is this, I don't know, is this like an opportunity you take, or is it just part of the gig?
So Loose Screw is it's the host shop of the Richmond Tattoo Convention, and I'm very lucky that it's right in my hometown, and we host it, so I get to be a part of it. And yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's a fantastic convention.
I know, I'm so excited to go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's a lot of fun too if you're not getting tattooed. That's another thing I love about it, is because there's so much to do if you're not getting tattooed. There's live entertainment, comedy entertainment, music, food trucks. There's mural artists that are painting the whole time, so that you can go and watch. And honestly, just walking around the convention and looking at the caliber of artists and the work they're doing is also just incredible, especially if you're into the arts already.
That makes so much sense, because I feel like tattoo, even though it is a tattoo convention, it's also an arts convention.
Absolutely.
And tattoo kind of brings its own culture. So in this space, I know there are going to be like live painters as well, and people selling their own art. What is like the cross section between tattoo artists and people like yourself who do illustration? Sure.
So a lot of the artists that are going to this convention are illustrators and fine artists.
Okay.
So they draw all their own designs. It's the balance between the two worlds. And yes, we have the live mural artists there, and I mean, we have so much crossover, and we support other artists. So we have vendors there that are not tattoo artists. They're bringing their art and they're selling their art and they're talking about their art. So we hold space for artists outside of tattooing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then even if someone's not necessarily into tattoo, but they like the vibes and they want to get art, this is a great event for them.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yes, it's great. Yeah, because I mean, even if I was just an illustrator, just walking around the show, you see so many different prints and paintings and drawings that are just so inspiring, and people doing all different types of art. We also have an academy on Monday where you can go, and there's, I think, 5 or 6 artists. Some are tattoo artists, some are fine artists, so they're not even tattoo artists. But you can go and they do seminars where they talk about their painting process, their drawing process. So even if you're just an artist, you can go to that and learn from some really great people.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Speaking of, I know so many people who idolize tattoo artists as this like mysterious art, because it's not really something you can go to VCU and major in. Sure. So I love that they have classes at the convention, but that makes me wonder, if people are interested in getting into this field, what is there one path? How do people learn how to get into it?
Yeah, there's so many paths. There's so many different ways you can do it. I mean, I started out working at the shop I'm at now as an intern doing graphic design. And then I moved my way up to reception. I did the front desk for a while. I was terrible at it. And then I went to be the in-house graphic designer for the shop. And I worked there for about 4 years before I even got an apprenticeship offer. So there's so many different ways. Some people can just go into a shop and get tattooed and get an apprenticeship, and there's no one answer. It's very black and white, or very gray, not black and white.
Yeah, so everyone kind of has their own journey.
Yes, absolutely. It's hard to give people advice about getting into the industry because there's so many ways you can do it.
That makes so much sense. Lastly, my final question is, how can people book with you if they're liking the art that they're seeing, be it at the show or at your studio?
Yeah, so I am always taking booking inquiries, even though I have my books open and closed for periods of time because I don't like to book too far out. Okay. But you can find me on Instagram at Ash Tattoos, or my website is mightyashtattoos.com.
I love it. Yeah. That's such a good pun. I'm Hekla Petursson, and this has been the 8-Bit Show. Be sure to show Ash Reid some love, and I'll see you at the Richmond Tattoo and Arts Convention or on the next episode.